On a bright and breezy morning, a cute baby panda named Penny skipped along the beach, collecting pretty seashells. "Look at this shiny one," Penny said happily. Soon her best friends arrived. There was Eli, a playful baby elephant who loved splashing in the waves. There was Spot, a tiny puppy with floppy ears and a wagging tail. And there was Maya, a cheerful little baby kid carrying a bright yellow bucket. "Let's build the biggest sandcastle ever!" Maya cheered. "Yes," everyone shouted. The friends worked together. Penny patted the sand into tall towers. Eli filled his trunk with water to make the sand nice and sticky. Spot happily carried tiny seashells one by one. Maya decorated the castle with colorful pebbles. Soon, the sand castle was huge. "It needs a lighthouse," said Penny. "I'll make one." Eli smiled. Using a paper cup, a small stick, and a shiny red shell, they built the cutest little lighthouse on top of the castle. Just then, a tiny voice squeaked. "Help! Help!" The friends looked around. "Did you hear that?" whispered Maya. Spot sniffed the air. Sniff! Sniff! He followed the sound to a little tide pool. Inside was a tiny baby crab. "My family is on the other side of the beach," the crab said sadly. "The waves are too big for me." "We'll help you," Penny said kindly. "But how?" asked Maya. Eli had an idea. "What if we build a little boat?" The friends gathered supplies. A big seashell became the boat. A leaf became the sail. A small twig became the mast. Spot found a smooth pebble to use as an anchor. "It looks perfect," barked Spot. The baby crab climbed into the tiny shell boat. Eli gently pushed it into the calm water with his trunk. The little boat floated smoothly across the tide pool. Splash! Splash! The friends carefully walked beside it to make sure it stayed safe. Halfway across, a playful wave rocked the little boat. "Oh no!" cried Maya. Spot ran along the edge, barking encouragement. "Woof! You can do it!" Penny gently used a large leaf to block the next wave. Eli carefully blew a soft puff of air with his trunk. Ho! The tiny boat floated safely to the other side. The baby crab jumped onto the sand. "My family!" he shouted happily. A whole group of smiling crabs hurried over. They waved their tiny claws. "Thank you!" they all cheered. As a surprise, the crabs decorated the friends' sandcastle with sparkling seashells, shiny sea glass, and tiny white pearls. Now the little lighthouse sparkled in the sunshine. "It's the most beautiful sandcastle ever," Maya said. Just then, a friendly seagull flew overhead. It gently dropped a colorful feather right beside the lighthouse. "It needs a flag," laughed Penny. They placed the feather on top of the lighthouse, where it fluttered proudly in the sea breeze. As the sun began to set, the sky turned pink, orange, and gold. The four friends sat together on the warm sand, eating juicy slices of watermelon and listening to the gentle sound of the waves. "This was the best beach day ever," said Penny. "And the best lighthouse ever," giggled Eli. Spot wagged his tail so fast that sand sprinkled everywhere. Everyone burst into laughter. The little lighthouse stood proudly on the sandcastle until the evening tide gently washed it away. But the happy memories of helping a tiny crab and sharing a wonderful adventure stayed in their hearts forever.